Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and you are watching Poland Daily Culture in the Times of Plague. Piotr Jaszczuk is a young musician, the graduate of Goldsmith University in London, and right now an author of his first CD. Piotr, it's a pleasure to talk with you, even through video call. Do you hear me?
Yes, Marisha, thank you. I can hear you well, and thank you so much for inviting me to, well, this form of studio in the Times of Plague, but it's nice. Thank you.
How do you feel? I mean, physically right now?
Really good, actually, really good, and that's really important in these times. I feel good. I feel very well, and ready to go, ready to work.
We don't want to lose our best musicians, especially right now, so I hope you stay well. But before we learn more about Piotr's story, let's hear him play.
Zamknął drzwi, przekręcił klucz, zamek chrząknął w rytmie na 3. Pan Y zszedł po schodach, ciągnęło go nad wodę, krok za krokiem pomyślał, lecz sam nie wiedział, czy to jest myśl, czy to strach, czy to ta melodia gra w jego głowie, czy to w sobie czuł ten narkotyczny szał. Była noc, krzyczał ktoś, poniatowski łaprze ją.
Piotrek, right now you have your own CD, and we always talk with artists in the moment when they reach a success, usually, but it is a long process. And tell us more about the way which leads you to the place when you are right now.
Thank you for this question. It's nice. I have to stress that at least right now I don't consider myself successful. Definitely, this is my success, but. It's an interesting concept, success, I think for everyone it means something different, but this is like dreams come true. And I have to say that my first attempts were when I was 8. I was taught classical guitar, but I didn't like it, and I threw that away. Then I had another attempt at 12, and I still didn't like it, and still threw it away. And when I heard the song Other Side by Red Hot Chili Peppers for the first time when I was around 14, 15, I fell in love, and I've decided that I want to take up music again. So I learned playing guitar basically anew just by myself. Then I decided to work on my voice, so I started singing, and under the guidance of Agata Conador, a dear friend of mine now, but also my huge guru, vocal guru, and she's always been taking care of my voice like of its own baby, and like of her own baby, and this is just. She's a spectacular woman and spectacular teacher, and she guided me for almost 8 or 9 years, I think. She taught me all the self-awareness about my voice and my body and everything. Essentially, I'm a perfectionist in many ways when it comes to music, unfortunately. So I never believe that what I do is good enough to show to the world. Now, obviously, I know that this is stupid thinking, and it's important to just do things. But for many years, I didn't release anything because I was just, not ready, I guess, mentally. So I think a long process was in my head, just to have the right mentality. And I believe now I kind of know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Yeah, although it's been a lot of struggle, as always is, it's also been very gratifying in the people I've met, in the concerts I've played, and relationships I have through music. So yeah, I think it's beautiful, and I hope to continue this journey, just for now.
And I know you spent a year at the Goldsmith University in London in order to learn music. And tell me, please, why did you choose this university, and what kind of experience was it?
So there was a choice between 1 year and 2 years. I actually went with 2. So I went with 2 years because that was part-time. So I chose this university because of a friend, Olandra, that we've been talking about. She's been a student there as well. And I went to visit her, and she showed me around the university, and I loved it. There was this moment when I just entered the campus, it just clicked, and I knew that this is the place I want to be. I think in Poland there is a certain lack of musical education, higher musical education for people who just want to do popular music and don't necessarily want to be classical musicians or jazz musicians. For example, I know how to read music, but I'm not a very good sight reader, as some people can just sit and play through. No, I can't do this. But I was focusing on songwriting from very like pop and rock vibe. And in Poland, there's not really a space to study this. Whereas in London, there is a huge scene for that. And what they were interested in was, what style do I have? How do I see music? And the way I write my songs, and what can they do with my style? How can they shape me? So that's what really brought me into this uni, because they were just interested in developing my style as I saw this, and shaping it in a more aware and creative way, I guess, which is something I didn't see an opportunity for here in Poland. That's all.
So how would you sum up why British music education is so effective, that they have a very rich and, I would say, wild musical stage, especially for young musicians, which some of them become huge stars all over the world, and we lack of it? Do we lack of, talented people, or do we lack of proper upbringing?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. I absolutely don't believe that we lack talented people. I think we have very talented musicians here, and actually, thanks to YouTube and internet, a Polish stage is really kind of is living now. Is very alive, and young Polish musicians are writing in Polish. They're very creative, and they're really, really great. There are so many great musicians I can name, like Kasia Linz, Paweł Izdebski, Zagi, Suzia. Some of them are my friends, some of them are not, but they are all really, really talented, and they are so creative. What I think is we lack sometimes is this sort of more infrastructure in terms of in the industry itself. The British industry has been developing for many years, and it's basically more ready to take in new talents, I think, rather than the Polish industry, which is kind of learning. Also, they sing in English, so it's easy to sell it across the world. Whereas when you sing in Polish, you can really just make it in Poland because of the language. So that's another thing. And then the education, as far as the education goes, like I said before, I think British universities leave more space to you as an individual. Whereas I have a feeling, although I've never studied in Polish music university, but I have a feeling from what people told me, that they try to shape you in the way they view you, instead of try to help you shape yourself. I think that's the huge difference.
In my personal opinion, it is very important to support our own artists and to cheer them up, and also just to be the audience for them, because all music and all artists desperately need audience, and who would be better audience for young Polish musicians than just Polish people and all over the world. So that's my message, and I hope it's also a message of Piotr Jaszczuk, and thank you so much for watching Poland Daily Culture.